Beloved child, an invisible gateway of provision has just been opened over your life. And this cannot be fully understood by ordinary eyes or by the familiar reasoning of human beings. I, Michael, come to remind you that what is moving around you is not merely luck, nor is it a random result of circumstance. There is a support that has been recorded for you, placed under your name, approved by the one who created you and who has silently seen every year of your endurance. Every time you kept your heart upright when no one applauded. Every season you sowed in silence without knowing whether you would ever see fruit. Therefore, do not view what is coming as some distant, vague blessing that will only appear when you are perfect enough or when you force yourself to prove that you are worthy. No, my child, this provision does not begin from your tension, but from the faithfulness of God. What you are about to receive is not a reward for trying to please everyone, but an answer to a journey that heaven has witnessed. Many times you thought you had been forgotten, but in truth, every silent tear, every pure choice, every refusal of what was wrong, every time you kept walking even without evidence before your eyes, has been kept in the hidden place. Now, this flow begins to turn toward you, not to make you proud, but to set you in the right position to serve something higher. Provision from heaven does not only come to fill what is lacking, it also comes to enlarge your capacity for obedience, to heal the parts that pressure once hardened, and to help you step into a new season with hands that no longer tremble from fear of lack. You have grown used to living in a state of having to calculate every little thing, to support yourself day by day, to look at every door with caution. But I speak to you with tenderness and certainty. You were not created to live forever in the fear that tomorrow will swallow today. Yet receive this with humility and awareness. When provision comes, do not hurry to display it before those who do not understand its source. Do not let your mouth turn what is sacred into a story meant to gain attention. Do not spend the blessing merely to compensate for old wounds or to prove your worth to someone. What is given from heaven must be stewarded with peace, wisdom, and gratitude. Let abundance first heal the way you see God. He is not poor in love, not late in care, and He has not forgotten what you have silently endured. So breathe deeply and stand firm in pure faith. A flow is being opened, not loudly, but very truly, not forcefully, but full of power, not to lead you away from the path of light, but to lift you into the season that has been prepared. Receive it with a tender heart. Keep the necessary discretion, and let everything that is given become proof that you did not wait in vain. I am beside you to remind you, when God opens the source, no one can lock what He has decided for you to enter. You did not step into this moment by accident, because there are meetings that are silently arranged before you can understand why you were led here. I speak to you with the gentleness of a guardian, telling you that your attention did not simply drift toward this message like a directionless wind. There was a quiet guidance that drew you near, not through a loud sound, not through force, but through a very soft prompting deep within you. At the very moment when you thought you were merely listening to another word, heaven knew you were standing before a threshold that your heart had already been prepared to receive. Not everyone can receive what is being opened in this hour, not because the love of God is limited, nor because mercy chooses only a few to touch, but there are words that come like rain in the proper season, and only soil that has been softened can absorb them deeply. Some will pass by this word without stopping. Some will listen in haste and then move on. And some will lose the moment because they are still busy searching for signs elsewhere. But you are here. Not earlier, not later, but exactly at the appointed place where peace has quietly brought you. Therefore, sit still in reverence, and do not take lightly what is being declared over your journey. I do not come to give you a vague guess, nor do I come to inflame impatience within you. I come to remind you that there are decisions that have been spoken from a place higher than every voice that once made you doubt. The doors you thought were firmly locked are being reconsidered under the light of God. The flows that were once blocked by fear, delay, hurt, and weariness are beginning to be cleared according to divine order. What you have waited for has not been forgotten. It is only being arranged to come to you in a purer form, at a better time, and with greater steadiness. Let me speak this into the place that has grown exhausted from waiting. God's provision is not only material, it is also support, clarity, restoration, opportunity, healthy relationships, and strength to keep moving forward. The areas where you have silently cried because you saw no movement are not outside heaven's sight. The path has been opened in a way you cannot yet fully see. The connection has been established where you cannot yet reach. And what needs to come to you is moving in the wisdom of the one who knows every true need. But, beloved child, when the flow begins to move, I want you to keep your heart pure, humble, and awake. Do not use old fear to measure a new promise. Do not rush into doubt simply because you have not yet seen every sign with your eyes. There are things coming not so you can boast that you have won, but so you can recognize that you have been cared for throughout the whole journey. Receive with gratitude, walk with gentleness, and keep peace like a sacred seal upon your chest. What is being given in this season is not meant to make you proud, but to heal you, strengthen you, and lead you into a more spacious life under the hand of God. Receive each of these words with deep calm, because what I am placing before you may change the way you look back at your circumstances, the way you enter the days ahead, and the way you understand why you endured for so long and still were not crushed. I know there were seasons when you were not only tired on the outside, but tired in the most hidden places of the heart, where no one could see the quiet battles. You did what was right, tried at the right time, endured when no one patted your shoulder, knocked on doors you believed should open. Yet many times what you received in return was only delay, silence, or an answer not strong enough to carry you through the next day. Ever so, beloved child, hear me clearly. That delay was not a sentence against your worth. There is a very particular kind of exhaustion among those who have been faithful for too long without seeing a visible sign. It is not the tiredness of one who gives up, nor the heaviness of one who refuses to sow. It is the weariness of one who has sown in silence, worked without recognition, kept walking while resources were running low, and reminded themselves to believe for one more day, even while their eyes had not yet seen what they were promised. I have seen you calculate every lack, seen you hold back a sigh before needs that kept coming closer, while provision still seemed far away. I have seen you ask yourself whether you had done something wrong, whether you had been passed over among the crowd, whether your prayer was falling into an empty space where no one would answer. But you have not been forgotten. Not one of your tears has been lost from heaven's remembrance. Not one act of kindness has become meaningless simply because it has not yet produced an immediate result before your eyes. What you call delay is often not rejection, but repositioning. You have not been standing still as you thought while you were waiting. Certain foundations within you were being made firmer. Old habits were being removed from your hands, and connections that no longer fit were being separated from your path. Sometimes the Most High is not only preparing the blessing for you, He is also preparing you so you will not lose yourself when that blessing comes. Therefore, I speak to you with gentleness but certainty. You are not falling behind. You are not outside heaven's attention. And you are not being overlooked in any sacred arrangement. What has changed is not the love for you, because that love has never diminished. What has changed is your position. You have been brought out of the place where you only knew how to support yourself by your own strength. And you are stepping into a season where provision no longer has to come through the old paths that exhausted you. Let your heart stop accusing itself because of things that did not happen according to the timing you wanted. Stand upright in peace. Because the door that did not open before does not mean you were excluded from the promise. Perhaps it was simply waiting for the right moment to open in a way no one could compete with. Delay or deny. The sudden clarity you are receiving about the next step is not random, nor is it only a passing thought that should be dismissed. My child, there are moments when heaven does not give you the entire road, but places within you a very quiet knowing about where to step next. It is not loud, not forceful, and does not come like a complete plan with every detail, but it shines enough for you to no longer feel as unclear as before. In the previous season, you may have seen everything through mist, asking again and again what you should do, whether you should leave or stay, begin or wait, speak or remain silent. But now, something has become clearer, not because you have analyzed yourself into exhaustion, but because an inner doorway of receptivity is being opened through gentle guidance from above. Hear me. Beloved child, God does not nurture aimlessness. He nurtures what carries sacred purpose. When He prepares to move support toward a journey, He often begins by illuminating the direction before fully revealing the means. You may not yet see every resource, may not know who will help you, may not understand when everything will be joined together. But if the next step has been made clear within your heart, that is a sign worthy of your attention. Do not despise clarity just because it comes quietly. Some of the truest things do not need to shake the ground, because they carry steady peace. What comes from fear often pushes you to run immediately, prove immediately, grasp immediately. But what comes from sacred guidance often makes you calmer, more focused, and aware that you do not need to see the entire road before placing your foot on the first step. Therefore, if recently a certain direction has naturally become clearer within you, not because you searched excessively, not because someone else persuaded you, and not because temporary ambition inflated it, then hold it with awareness. It may be an invitation to step into a new work, release an old connection, begin a cleaner habit, adjust the way you serve, or prepare for a season of building that you were not ready to receive before. I am not telling you to rush forward emotionally. I am teaching you to recognize the signal of guidance. Resources often do not come to feed the places where you are still scattered, They are drawn to where purpose has been named. When the mission appears, support will begin to find its way to the right place. So do not dismiss that quiet knowing as a distant wish, simply because it does not come with a loud echo. Remember it. Pray in peace. Prepare with faithfulness. And take one small but steady step. I am near you in this moment, guarding you from the old confusion and leading you into a gentle clarity, where you no longer move because of panic, but because you are called, illuminated, and upheld. There is something harder to accept. Beloved child, in the stage that led you to this moment, many things left your life not because you were forgotten, but because what is coming needed cleaner ground on which to be placed. I know that when those things happened, you did not see gentleness in them. You only saw disappointment, a door closing too quickly, someone once close suddenly becoming different, plans that had just begun to glow going out before you could hold on to them. There were separations that did not ask your permission, opportunities that left while you were still preparing to enter, resources that ran low while you still needed them to last a little longer. And because everything did not unfold gently, you once thought you were being punished, stopped, or placed into a season too harsh. But listen to me today with a calmer heart. Not everything taken away is a sign of final loss. Sometimes what is withdrawn from your hand is exactly what was not strong enough to go with you into the new chapter. There are relationships that can only stand beside you when you are small, but would become a burden when you are enlarged. There are opportunities that look like blessings on the outside, yet within them are not pure enough, not stable enough, not aligned enough with the dignity heaven is forming in you. There are sources that helped you survive an old season, but if you kept clinging to them, you would have no room to receive the greater flow being prepared. Therefore, what ended is not always rejection. Many times, it is a holy hand clearing the way. When a room is about to be assigned a higher purpose, the objects that no longer belong in that room must be moved out. When a field is about to receive precious seed, the old roots must be pulled up, even though the ground may feel wounded and empty while it is being cleared. You looked at that emptiness as proof that you had lost everything. But I see it as a place being freed to contain something greater. What cannot support the weight of the new season must leave before the new season arrives, or it will crack under the weight of the answer. I do not deny your pain. I saw your silence after the times you were replaced, after promises failed, after things that seemed certain dissolved. But I also saw what you did not see. If those things had stayed, they would have pulled you back into the old path, kept you in a smaller version of yourself, and made you doubt the very calling growing within you. They were not taken away to make you poorer. They were separated from you, so you would no longer be bound to what cannot travel far with you. So do not rush to call purification disaster. Do not call emptiness failure. Do not call closed doors the end. Perhaps that was the very moment heaven was removing the final barriers before entrusting you with something wider, deeper, and more timely. Let me teach you to stand still in the process of being cleared, because after the emptiness that is held in light, you will recognize that what left did not take your future away. It only made room for that future to enter. What is changing first is not in your outer circumstances, but is taking place quietly in your inner world. My beloved child, you may not yet see every movement with ordinary eyes, may not yet touch a clear result, may not yet hear confirmation from the people around you, but within you, a very deep shift has already begun. Things that once felt normal suddenly feel different. Your dreams are no longer merely scattered images from the night before, but carry a heavier, brighter feeling, as though something is asking for your attention. Your awakening is also no longer the same as before. There are times when you open your eyes during quiet hours, when the whole world seems still asleep. Yet, inside you there is a strange clarity, a feeling of being awakened not by sound, but by a very gentle call from the hidden place. Do not fear those moments, and do not be quick to call them disorder or coincidence. When I allow you to awaken at an unusual time, it is not to make you anxious, but to help you recognize that something within you is being rearranged. There are things God prepares in silence before they are revealed on the outside. There are new seasons that do not begin with a loud drumbeat, but with a new sensitivity in the heart. With the way you hear an ordinary sentence and feel it touch you strangely. With the way you read a message and realize it is not merely words, but something shining directly into the place you once hid. That is why many conversations, signs, and small coincidences have carried unusual weight for you recently. And yes, my child, you are not imagining too much. When the inner landscape begins to change before the outer world can catch up, it is often a sign that a deeper work is being done at the roots. Before a tree blossoms, its roots must quietly find their way through the soil. Before a door opens, the key has already been prepared in an invisible hand. Before you step into a new season, the way you feel, discern, listen, and respond must also be renewed. So your present sensitivity is not a burden for you to be ashamed of, but an invitation for you to walk more slowly, more purely, and more awake. I want you to keep your heart in peace as the inner signs become clearer. Do not rush to tell everything to people who do not have the gentleness to understand. Do not force yourself to explain every feeling just to be acknowledged. There are things that need to be guarded in discretion until they are mature enough to be revealed. Let this awakening lead you closer to God, not into confusion. Let the nights when you awaken become a place where you are upheld, not a place where you exhaust yourself with too many questions. For what is being prepared within you is not small, and before it appears on the surface of your life, it is being built very carefully in the deepest place within you. What is happening in your prayer time is not only found in the things you speak, but also in the stillness you often hurry to fill. Beloved child, I have seen how you enter the place of prayer with so many words in your heart, requests, explanations, defenses, proofs that you are still trying, still believing, still hoping that the Most High understands every part of what you have endured. You speak as though, if you do not present it clearly enough, heaven will miss an important detail. You pray as though mercy needs more persuasion. You retell your pain as though the one who saw you before the first dawn needs a full report before beginning to act on your behalf. But child, he is not unfamiliar with your tears, not delayed because he lacks information, and not motionless because you have not found the perfect words. Therefore, when you kneel and no longer know what to say, do not quickly view that as a lack of devotion. When a space of silence opens within your prayer, do not hurry to fill it with words, just because you are afraid you are not doing enough. There are times when faithfulness is not found in saying more, but in staying longer without demanding anything. 7 minutes without words, without a plan, without asking for more, without explaining further, may unsettle you because you have grown used to measuring nearness by the sound of your own voice. But I tell you that sometimes the holiest thing in prayer is not the words you speak, but the moment you stop controlling the meeting and allow the gentle presence of the Most High to cover you. The discomfort you feel in silence is not a sign that you are wasting time, but a sign that you are being invited deeper. You have grown used to bringing everything in and immediately searching for an answer. Used to praying as though it were an urgent presentation. Used to feeling that if you say nothing, something important is being missed. But my child, there are healings that only begin when your mouth rests. There are burdens that only fall when you no longer try to arrange every sentence correctly. There are answers that do not come through sound, but as a settling, a stream of peace, a gentle expansion within you. Practice remaining in silence without fear. Let the wordless minutes become a place where you are embraced, not a place where you are judged. The Most High is not waiting for your next sentence in order to love you more. He is waiting for you to stop bracing yourself. Stop proving. Stop rushing to fill the space with worry. When you are still, you do not disappear from heaven's attention. Rather, you begin to realize that you have always been within that merciful gaze. I gently remind you, prayer is not only the place where you speak to the one who loves you, but also the place where you learn to rest before him. And in that rest, what you thought was silence may be the very embrace of peace, restoring your strength. When you are attacked, when what you said is twisted, or when people see you wrongly, what rises within you is often no longer a calm choice, but a pressure that almost forces you to speak immediately. Beloved child, I see that moment clearly. I see the wave in your chest that wants to rise. Correct, explain, and put everything back in its proper place. You do not react simply because you like to argue. Many times you react because it hurts when the truth is placed wrongly. But right there, in that very small place where you think you are only protecting what is right, God gently places a finger of light and says, "Look more closely, my child." Because what is being revealed is not only what the other person said, and not only whether you are right or not. There are times when you truly are right. Yet the way you are pulled into reaction drains the peace within you. You begin writing the answer in your head after night has fallen. You lie down, but your mind keeps building each sentence, each word, each argument. During the day, you still walk, still work, still smile. But inside, a silent courtroom is taking place. You ask yourself how to speak so they will understand, when to send it so you will not be seen as weak, how long to stay silent so they will not think you have lost. And while you are preparing to defend yourself, a very gentle call inside you whispers, "Wait." That call does not come to make you small, nor does it come to deny your pain. It comes to protect the purest part of you from being swept into a battle that no longer serves peace. I want you to understand that not every accusation deserves your energy. Not every misunderstanding needs you to correct it immediately. There are rooms that decided not to listen before you even spoke. And if you keep pouring yourself out to persuade such a place, you will become exhausted, not because you lack strength, but because you are giving what is precious to a place not yet prepared to receive it. Therefore, when you feel that you cannot leave it alone. Stop deeply. That is the very point God wants to heal within you, not your voice. But the bondage that makes you believe you must answer immediately in order to be safe. The silence being asked of you is not defeat, nor is it allowing lies to win. It is a form of sacred maturity, where you learn not to let fear control your mouth, not to let offense determine your pace, and not to let another person hold the key to the door of peace within you. You can be right and still need to wait. You can be misunderstood and still be preserved. You can be silent and still stand in radiant dignity. I speak to you with the tenderness of one who is sheltering you the next time that urge rises. Do not quickly treat it as a command. Treat it as a signal inviting you back to peace. Let the pause become the guardian before your words. Let the light within you choose the timing, instead of letting the wound choose on your behalf. For there are things God will vindicate himself in a way that does not exhaust you. And there are battles you win not through a sharp answer, but through no longer being compelled to answer. You will still meet the temptation to respond, to explain, to build in your mind the words that seem necessary to defend your pain. Perhaps someone will say something false about you. An unexpected message will touch an old wound, or a night memory will return like a gentle knock on a door not fully healed. Then there will be a very familiar movement within you. Your mind begins arranging arguments. Your heart begins to heat up. And every sentence seems so righteous that you think if you do not speak immediately, you will lose yourself. But, beloved child, I want you to stop before that threshold, not because you do not have the right to speak, but because not every voice that bursts out of pain carries wisdom. Therefore, when that moment returns, breathe before you answer. Let your body soften. Let the hand that is clenched open. Let your shoulders lower. Let your jaw stop tightening. Do not be quick to trust the first voice that rises after injury, because that voice is often not purified light, but relief searching for an emergency exit. I am not teaching you silence so you will suffer loss, nor am I teaching you to endure so that others may continue hurting you. I am teaching you to distinguish between words guided by peace and words pushed out by fear. A true word spoken in unrest can still wear down the holiness that is being restored within you.